Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bean Turtle as always, and today I am going to be talking about events, specifically this event that's about to start, or is started. I think by the time I post this, it will have started on August 8th. So the event on August 8th is releasing an Iranian F-14. So originally for the Shah, I jokingly wrote down Shah, the Tomcat. But it's for the Shah of Iran. Got a bunch of F-14s among other things because they were a U.S. ally before the revolution. And so that's what the plane is going to be. We don't have every detail out about the plane, and this is being recorded beforehand by a little bit. So what we do know is, kind of the structure of the event and what it's going to take to get it, as well as you can see there's a little announcement gaijin posted. If you want to go read it in their like our marketplace and online store stuff that talks about how the event will go, what you're going to get for it, that kind of thing. And so what this video is more of what you're going to need to expect if you've never done an event before and you're like, oh, I really want this Tomcat because F-14s and planes are cool. Stuff like the F-14 is super cool. I'm going to definitely go try to get it. So here's what you are going to expect. First of all, what you should expect with these events if you've never done them before is there are going to be these stages. It's not just that like you can just sit there grind it all at one day. Technically, you could get on, play 35 missions, taking out one vehicle each, and get this challenge done in one day. These challenges do not work that way, right? So these challenges are actually time locked, sort of like the pages of history, where those pages of history, which I do sometimes, they're actually time locked to where if you do not do them within 2.5 days, it actually is not playable anymore. Or actually, in this case, it's 2 days, but it closes on the third at 7:30 a.m. So it's hard to play on that third day if you're um, not going to pull an all-nighter or something, which is not really worth it. But that is they're time gated. So what you'll have is you'll have a challenge, have a thing. It'll say whatever the name of the event is for the Persian Tomcat, whatever the event name is, and you'll have a series of challenges that you can only do for 2 days each. All right. This time, they tell us each stage is unlocked for 45,000 mission score. Mission score is your actual like physical game score when you complete a game. That number that says score, it's not like meaningless. That's actually what they're referring to. So it's a much more arcadey kind of thing than you'd think for how they do this. It's not based on destroyed aircraft or destroyed bases or anything like that, or SL earned even, or research points. It's based on mission score. So what your job is for these events is to get as much score as possible as easily as possible, or as easily as you're comfortable to do as possible. If you're new to the game, it might be kind of hard to make a lot of score quickly. They have these Gaijin always has these weird modifiers for what vehicles are worth in terms of score. So if you look at this right here, just as an example, this Pages of History one, there is a multiplier difference between air arcade battles, air realistic battles, air simulator battles, and there's also one for ground arcade, ground realistic, and simulator realist or simulator battles. Right, each one has a different points multiplier for what you're going to actually be getting towards your score. But then there's another layer for these bigger events that are not like these pages of history, where your battle rating also has multipliers. So you have to have at least a rank 3 vehicle, or, and I don't want to confuse you, either a rank 3 vehicle or a vehicle that is an event vehicle. None of these are event vehicles. Hold on, where's one? The PO2, for instance, is an event vehicle. Therefore, I can actually use this 1.0 plane to get points. But this Hurricane is not. So this Soviet Hurricane Mark III or Mark II is not actually an event vehicle, and it's rank 2. So I can't use this to get any score whatsoever. So you need to have at least a rank 3 vehicle to participate in the first place. So that kind of sucks. But if you look at it that way, rank 3 will have a lower score percentage than others. So rank 3, let's say it's like 0.8 times score. So you have, if you play realistic like I do, you'll have a slight bonus to your air for playing air realistic, but then you'll have a decrease in the bonus. You'll have a multiplier that's bad for you, that takes points away from you. So you're only getting like 1.2 times score, right? If you're playing at rank 3. Rank 4 is slightly better. You're going to have slightly less of a score reduction. Rank 5, I think, is like 1.0 or 1.1, or usually times 1.1 or something like that. And then it gets better and better until you're playing at rank 8, where you're getting a pretty good bonus. You'd think you'd want to use something like the F-16C because that would be the highest multiplier. You want to play air realistic, or if you're brave enough, simulator. I don't play sim, but you can do that if you choose. And that's what you'd want to do to get the highest possible multiplier. But you've got to remember that you have to do this for 45,000 mission score. Of course, with higher multipliers, it's less than that. Maybe it comes out even to like 30,000. But you have to simultaneously not go insane while getting your progress. If I were to fly this for every single task, all 8 tasks to get to plane, 9 to get an extra camo, there's always an extra camo at the end, I would go insane because it is so hard to fly top tier, in my opinion. I'm just not that good at it. Whereas if I were to use this thing, this 3.7 BR rank 3 plane, which is on the table, I might be able to play this for way longer and have more fun with it because it's less brutal. Honestly, the matchmaker is less brutal. But the plane itself is getting a negative modifier towards score. So you've got to kind of balance between the two, find a balance you like. If you're a new player, gravitate to what you like and just keep going. That's kind of my statement. It's a marathon, not really a race. I would even recommend once you finish your task, you just get off for the night. You don't want to burn yourself out on like task 5 because that would feel terrible. Next, my recommendations for the kinds of planes that I would recommend and stuff to get this plane, my kinds of play styles, that kind of thing. I recognize that not everyone has access to premiums and that kind of thing. So premiums are of course not required, but sometimes premiums can be helpful to keep you a little bit more sane than other things, but these other planes do just as fine. So, some recommendations. The first recommendation is kind of boring. I would say use what you like. For instance, for me, some of the things that I like I really like this plane, the A6M5 Co. I've used it for several events, several different events as my fighter of choice. I would go through sometimes. I would get like, let's see, Japan. It's the highest one. Some games, I'll get 5+ kills with the A6M5's the 0. And this one is, I think you can kind of get it as a pack premium at this point. I don't quite know. But there are other equivalents. And for instance, right here is in the tech tree, in the Japanese tech tree. It's just a fun all around plane. It's something that I like, right? So if you don't have access to this, you haven't ground out the tech tree in time. That's fine. I mean, that's okay. Maybe you really like, for instance, like your Yak 9s or something, or maybe, which I don't actually play them very much. Maybe you like, something Russian, some fighter that you're used to, or maybe you really like the T-63 or like the P-51s. You can use those, right? You can use those, use what you like. If you're comfortable with it, I would recommend going up higher tiers, however. Rank 5 is probably the lowest that I would go to get significant progress. There aren't many options in rank 5 for the US that are amazing, in my opinion. I mean, you could use the F-86, but your experience would kind of suck. The F-89 is okay. I like it, but it's okay. Or you could just bomb bases. That's something that people do all the time. But if you have, for instance, rank 5, the Su-11 is overpowered at this BR at 7.3, so you can play with that. That's really good. There's also one right here that's pretty similar. MiG-15 is under BR'd, and I love it, so I would recommend using this one. It's very, very good. So the MiG-15 is a really, really solid plane that you will not have a hard time playing, in my opinion. Some others that are pretty solid. Pretty much the Me-262s are pretty solid as well, if you have any of those. And then alternatively, you could just be a base bombing person. So you could just go around and take out bases. And I mean, it's kind of mind numbing after a while. I think the playstyle is okay, but literally fly over, drop bombs on bases. Ju-28C, fly over a base, drop these two 1800s, return to base. Get up, go back, hit base, leave, get up, go, hit base, leave. Right? I mean, it's kind of boring, but you can get to like 1,300 points, 2,000 points, 3,000 points consistently per game doing that. And so that is a method, and you can do that with pretty much any bombers in any tree. What am I going to use though? What am I personally going to use? I have some premiums I've put some time into that are really solid, that really work out, and I have some non-premiums that I really like. First of all, this right here, the Tornado IDS WTD61, very convenient short name. Made a video on this, by the way, a little bit ago. This plane right here is actually pretty good for this. It is a supersonic plane with at least some countermeasures. It can destroy 2 bases per bomb load, carrying 12 bomb bases. It's 6 bombs per base. You can carry 2 bases worth. You've got 2 AIM-9Ls to take out targets that aren't paying attention. You've got a pretty solid cannon, or actually 2 pretty solid cannons right here that are centrally mounted. They're easy to aim. You've got a radar gun sight to help you out as well, so you can radar lock people and get a gun sight with it to help you hit your targets. And it's just all around a really solid plane for this. I will average, 1,300, 1,500 points per game. This is a rank 7 plane, and I'm playing a realistic, so you're getting the highest possible, or almost the highest possible multiplier towards your points. So a 1,300 point game is more like 2,000 towards your challenge. So that's a bonus right there. If I get bored or angry at that, I also have stuff like the F-16C ready that I will probably play around with, which I like playing with the little AIM-120s that are brand new. Those are kind of fun to mess with. F-15 is a good choice for me, in my opinion. I like again, the missiles are fun, and AIM-9Ms, but also you can base bomb with these too, because they're really fast. And I have some other plates to spade. You don't necessarily have to just do stuff that you think you need to do. Like, you don't have to just beat your head over the cliff of, I need to use the F5E. Why? You can go have fun. Go spade the F8 Crusader. I don't know. Go spade, a Phantom, or I don't know. Go spade your MiG-29, right? If you're having fun with it, and go do something that this gives you an opportunity to focus on something. I might focus, for instance, on the Su-25 I got as a challenge, or a event vehicle from 2023, right? So I might use this a little bit, right? Just make sure whatever you're doing, you don't get angry, you don't get bored. I also have this plane I bought a couple years ago for fun, the MiG-23ML. I like running 4 R60s and 2 R24Rs to take out planes. This thing is really solid for air-to-air combat. I haven't used it since the change to its airframe, but I think it's still pretty good. So this will be my fighter of choice, likely, if I go to do fighter combat, if I get bored of just bombing bases or whatever I'm doing. Also, as a reminder, Great Britain exists. If you've happened to purchase the Wyvern Pack, which is very worth it in my opinion, you have access to, you blow up a base, you take out a base with your 3 bombs, you're super fast, so you can go hunt bombers afterwards and or other fighters. Fighters will have a hard time catching you, and it's very maneuverable. Great cannons as well. These 20 millimeters really destroy things. So you'll have a good time with this plane if you have it. And it being rank 4, the modifier is only slightly against you. Like, it doesn't really matter. And the last thing that I think I'll do as a recommendation is, if you do have some of these event vehicles or some battle pass vehicles also count as event vehicles, and battle pass vehicles get a slight bonus on score on top of BR bonuses and stuff. So the J-26 David is a battle pass vehicle. It's slightly it's going to have a slightly negative modifier, so maybe like a zero point 0.8 for being a zero point 0.8 times multiplier for being a rank 3 vehicle. However, it's an event vehicle, so I think it cancels out, and then you're getting the 1.4 or whatever from air realistic battles. So if you use the J-26, which is a really low BR plane, that's an event vehicle, you can go out and just have a good time with something you're used to, because this is a plane I'm used to using quite a bit, and you can get a lot of points for doing so while being way lower BR than using the big stuff like in F-16, right? Where people are much better. And speaking of players at top tier being, I put in quotes, better in some cases, I want to, this brings us to the next point of the guide, which is kind of more of a mental game. Do whatever you can do to not freak out. Do whatever you can do to not get overwhelmed, not get angry. It's really kind of old and hard for, especially for someone like me, to be like, "Oh, just have a positive mindset, dude." No, that's kind of hard, kind of rough sometimes. But try your best not to get negative towards the game. Try not to let the people in the comments go, "Oh, life's." Oh, wait, don't look at that. It's like, "Oh, this event's so hard, man. Wow, this is so bad." 45,000 points is a lot. I mean, it is. It's ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but don't go into it with that mindset. Don't let other people doomer you. Try your best to just keep going. Um, this one is kind of this meme gets kind of old after a while, but try to go at it with the mindset of it is what it is. All right, if you you know get shot down like 6 times in a row in a top tier plane, um, don't let it make you mad. Change it up a little bit. Like, okay, fine, I'm done with this. Like, beat this F-14. By the way, that's part of why I haven't spaded it, because my experience in this plane in particular has not been very good. Beep that. I'm going to go play with my little Zero. Go change it up. Have fun with this. It's a very different experience, so it might not be as toxic if you're having that problem. That is. And then go with this. But also remember, you don't have to do this all in one day either. You don't want to burn yourself out every other day or every day to play to get this plane. 45,000 mission score is a lot. It is, but you could break that down into 2,200 or 22,500 per day. You get 2 days to do it. The first day, the second day. I've been able to do this on gays that I've done really well. Some of these, I've done the tasks or half of a task in under 2 or 3 hours, but that's me having like really good games over and over again. Realistically, especially if you're a new player, this is going to take a while. Your first few events, if you don't have stuff, you don't have planes that are higher tier, and you're not used to using higher tier planes, that's really more of the important part is experience. It might hurt. You might kind of suck, and you'll look at your challenge and you'll be like, "What do you mean I've gotten to like 10%?" And you're gonna like kind of go, "Wow, I feel like I've been here for hours." Um, yeah, I understand that. I understand that feeling, and that feeling really sucks. But kind of if you want this, you can keep going. Alternatively, and I don't necessarily recommend doing it this way because it's not worth it. Um, but alternatively, what you can do is you see this little shiny button right here. All of the tasks can be purchased for Golden Eagles, and I'm pretty sure that they're usually priced at 99 or 999 Golden Eagles, which I am an American plus the Steam tax because Steam is slightly more expensive. That is 6.6 US dollars for a task. Now, um, are pixels worth it in your opinion? That's up to you, obviously. Pixels, I try not to buy pixels if I can. That's why I didn't buy the F5C or the F4S, because I was just kind of like, why? I already have them. I have them in other formats, so why would I spend money on this that I don't need? Um, and it's kind of if you justify it, or if you feel like you missed the event, and you really want the plane, I would say go ahead and buy it. Like, and if you have extra money laying around, like you work a 9 to 5 job and you just are too tired after that to do it, then yeah, 100%. Just if you really want the plane, you can go ahead and buy it. Now they do a cool thing that they didn't used to do now, which is that with the event vehicles, they will have thresholds where if you're close on score, there's a discount, but the thresholds are really high. It's like 90% for the discount to apply, which is stupid and it should be lower, but whatever. This is the Gaijin wanting to make money, but you can get that discount and you just don't want to finish it last few games, you could spend less. Um, but I would recommend trying to play it first, because you don't want to end up spending 6 times $8, or 6.6 times $8. That's a good bit of money that you could spend on Taco Bell, or on Moe's, or even on, I don't know, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree, a game I still have yet to purchase. Elden Ring's great, but I haven't bought the DLC, so you know. Um, just kind of think about what you're willing to do. I hope this is helpful. I hope that my rambling prepares you a little bit better for this challenge. There are other YouTubers that do good stuff about this. I recommend them to talk about it as well. If you want specific better plane recommendations about like what kind of fighters that are really good and stuff, Defin is a really good guy for that kind of thing. He does all sorts of crazy good reviews as he, on screen takes out like 30 people on the other team. It's pretty fun to watch. So, you can go watch those videos too. And if you like this video, of course, be sure to like and subscribe it. It helps me out, makes me feel cool. I recently unlocked memberships, so if you guys really like my content, you've been watching me for a little bit, you can support my crazy video making endeavors by throwing money at me. That's kind of crazy to think about, but that's like an option now on YouTube. So I have memberships. You can be your very own Chad Turtle if you wish, um, and that would help me out with continuing to go. And if you want more of my stuff, I just finished making two cool videos that are from last week and the week before. One of them is on range finding without a rangefinder, and the other video is about weak spots on tanks that are common to see. So if you want to see either of those, be sure to go through the video that is on one of the sides of my screen, I think. Uh, yeah, thank you.